you want to stick around for the end, because at the very end I'll actually have a story after I do the what the totem stands for. I actually have a story about a fledgling that actually came to the property, and some footage of some pretty comical footage of her you know, trying to figure things out as a fledgling. So stick around for that, because that'll be at the end. So it depends on your really where you live as to what you call these. Some people call them buzzards, some people call them hawks. An olden indigenous name for them is a firebird, and that is a little bit more global. You know, almost any indigenous culture that I am aware of will call them firebirds, because they really are. They've got that elemental factor within their totem. Fire is a really big part of their totem. They heal and cleanse and mend through that kind of fire energy. Their totem really is all about healing and mending. In fact, you will see firebirds constantly circling a land that has recently been destroyed. And it could be for any reason, but like one time I lived in a different place that I do now, and they chopped down all the trees, all of them, you know, in the neighborhoods, behind the houses and everything. And the Firebird refused to leave, because all those trees were cut down and it was trying to heal the land. It said that it is possible, their healing magic is so strong that it is possible to save someone that is near death. So someone who shouldn't survive, basically, and they are able to heal them. But the catch is that they decide whether or not someone is worthy of being healed. So it's something that has to be freely given. It's something that can't be taken. It's something that if you work with that totem, you are at the basically you're at the mercy of whatever they decide. Typically, they're not too much of protector energy unless you fall alongside the wrong path and you try to take forcibly something from the Firebird, and that is when the Firebird releases his wrath, and that is, you know, basically the only time it starts to become an actual protector instead of a healer, when somebody has done wrong or is doing a lot of wrong and a lot of damage. And ironically, the same way that they mend everything through that fire energy is also the same way that they can bring wrath upon you, have you wronged them or wronged someone or something that they've tried to heal or mend or protect. But yeah, essentially thinking of probably the most, I mean, there's many different really good totems for healing, but one of the most powerful I can think of is the Firebird. They walk, or should I say fly, a path of balance, and their job is to mend and balance the land around them, and any place they've touched, the trees, the forests, just everything in it is more balanced. It grows better, it grows faster, and they never really take anything more than what they need. And so we have actually a farm that is just a humane, pagan-run farm. Basically, nothing is ever even butchered unless it's so mean that it can't get along with the rest of the flock. We've got a bunch of free-range poultry, and we've also got an aviary. And you would think that something like a buzzard, a firebird, a hawk, whatever you want to call it, that I would be put off. But actually no, actually it's an amazing gift when any species of Firebird decides that it wants to hang around here, and if it's immensely hungry and starving and it has no other choice, then yes, there's plenty of prey that's wild, but if it has no other choice, you know, and that's all that it can catch, or it would starve. I'm not going to any totem, let alone a Firebird, but really any totem, I'm not going to be maddened, because, you know, they have to eat, they have to survive, and so I welcome them. I welcome any predator, as long as that predator it only takes what it needs to survive. You know, and it's not trying to kill off the entire flock. We've had a few raccoons and kestrels that want to kill off everything, but most things are like the Firebird. Most things just kind of, we coexist with them. And what they bring back to the land is far greater than anything they would take. So anything, really, usually, for that matter, you know. There's only a few situations where it's not that way. Most of the time it is, you know, something that is a good thing. You know, when you see a totem that decides, and actually we've got, I believe, a fledgling within 1 year, no more than a year old, because the way she's acting, she's not scared of anyone or anything. You have to get really close for her to fly away. And that's usually a sign that they're most recently fledged. She's really bad at hunting, and there's tons of wildlife for her to hunt, overpopulated, you know, prey for her to hunt. There's all different kinds of vermin and songbirds and all different things that's just bountiful in this area. But she still thinks that she can get inside the fence of the aviary. And she's not even yet tried to do anything with the chickens, I don't believe. If she has, it's not been a very successful attempt. So she's got really bad hunting skills, and she cannot catch a lot of the things in the wild. And most of the time they will go for things in the wild first, because something that is more wise and knows what humans are will be afraid and won't try to attack livestock unless they're very desperate. So at least for Firebirds, they're usually like that. So she's actually hanging around here, doesn't seem to be afraid of people, and is trying way too hard to go after the birds in the aviary that she clearly cannot get to. It's been weeks and she's still at it. She's still trying. She still thinks she can get past that fence somehow, and she can't. You know, it tells me that she's not experienced in hunting. I don't think her parents really taught her much about hunting. You would think that they would have, but I think they just kind of plopped her down and left her, because it doesn't look like she has any hunting skills at all yet. And she's chosen this place to practice her hunting skills. So, you know, she basically will learn and grow off of anything that she sees that she can catch here. And unfortunately, yeah, that could mean that she might get a chicken or two, because they are outside the fence. They're not in the aviary. They're free roaming. But like I said, you know, I'm not really that worried about it, because it's a natural process of life. And she's here for a reason, I believe. There's nothing on accident in paganism. There's nothing on accident. So, but it is quite comical to see her do what she does. And so at the end of this video, actually, I have an entire clip of her trying to get, and it's hilarious, trying to get at the birds through the fence in the aviary.